kind of triggered me. You know what I say? Is it important for you as a photographer, as a filmmaker? I'm all about the vibe. Oh, hi there. How's it going? Welcome back to Adventure in Art. My name is Ben Staley, your resident talking head. This is a rant. Didn't plan on doing this one when I woke up this morning, and then I got a little agitated. It happens sometimes. So we're gonna talk about it. This is kind of my first day up and around in like a week. I've been under the weather after going to Florida to shoot the Warped Tour. There will be a video coming about that, I promise you. I don't know when, maybe by the end of the year, I'm not sure. I'm gonna try and get it done by the end of the year. That experience kind of hammered me. I was just going around the clock, and then I spent 2 days editing all this stuff, and then I just got hit with this flu, and it just like knocked me on my butt. This morning I got up, I was feeling a little better, so I just went for a walk around the neighborhood like I do. You guys have seen those videos. Well, yesterday, this is not going to sound very dramatic, and you're just going to think, geez, Staley, you're kind of overreacting. And that may be the case. But, well, just give me the time to get into this. Yesterday I'd posted some photos that I took at the Warped Tour with this. This is a Laowa. What is this, 8 to 15? What is the actual size here? Where's it at? 8 to 15. It's a fisheye. Let's look at this thing. It's glorious to behold. Look at this. Boop. I am friendly with the folks at Laowa, and I reached out to them and asked them if I could borrow this for the Warped Tour. I just thought, I kind of want a fisheye lens for this punk rock festival. Boy, was this thing a good choice. I use this thing on every artist I photographed, and this lens is sick. You guys, this lens is sick. You're gonna see a whole bunch of those photos in future videos. I don't think I'm even going to get into it now. I'm just going to save it for later. If you dig around on social media, you can find where I've been posting some stuff. But yeah. So I put a couple photos up on Reddit, and people were generally commenting positively. And then someone was like, how's the chromatic aberration in the Loca or something like that? Maybe it's because I had just woken up and I hadn't finished all my coffee, but I was like, gah! Why are people always asking about the specs or the quality, or, is it doing this? How's the fringing? And I don't know why that irritated me, but it did. And especially now that, like, as I record this, by the way, it's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving Day today. You're going to see this. I'm going to put this up as soon as I'm done recording. It's going right up on the internet. It'll be there it'll actually go live at midnight on Black Friday. So as you're watching this, if you watch it right away, if you're one of the diehards, you're going to be watching it on Black Friday. Now, Thanksgiving is one of my favorite days of the year. I love Thanksgiving, and not all the pilgrim stuff and all that bunch of malarkey, but I just love the idea of having a day to give thanks, to like a dedicated day for that. I think it's important. I think gratitude's important. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. It's been an incredible year, you guys. And I don't mean incredible like awesome and full of roses and sunshine. It's been an incredibly difficult year. Very hard. I'm going through a tough time now as an artist, as a creative, as a photographer and a filmmaker, and like things are tenuous at best. It's been an amazing year, and just so much opportunity and so many great things that have happened. More good than bad. Even though right now is one of the tougher times in my creative life. I don't care. I have so much to be grateful for. And so that's why I love this day. On the other hand, tomorrow, Black Friday, it even has a name of doom, like Black Friday. It's like the impending doom of the holiday season, of this big, like, commercial enterprise that seems to be like the last month of the year. It even starts in frickin' October now, really. Like, people are ramping up. It's just like earlier and earlier. They stretch it out. Companies spending billions and billions and billions of dollars to try and get you to buy their stuff, right? How can anyone be immune to that barrage of, you're not good enough? You would be better, more complete, more fulfilled as a human if you just had our ka-pa-ding. I hate that. And look, I've tried really hard not to be that guy on this channel. I think I've done a pretty darn good job. I actually freaking hate the whole side of YouTube that's just all about camera gear and specs and all this stuff. Sharpness and vignetting and megapixels and frames per second, and who freaking cares? Who freaking cares, right? If you only had this shiny new thing, you would be complete. You would be able to make the work of your dreams. You would be able to be a fully realized professional. Who freaking cares? Who freaking cares about all that stuff? You know what I say? Use what you have. Make what you can. What's your story, dude? What's your story? That's what matters. It doesn't matter if you don't have the most shiny new thing. It doesn't matter if you don't have like a perfect lens with no chromatic aberration, no vignetting, sharpness, corner to corner, blah 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 blah. Who cares? Trigger warning. I told you it was going to be a rant. But seriously, look, all that stuff matters, I guess. If it matters to you, it's fine if it does. I don't care. It's just that, like, I'm realizing, man, I like the up old gear more than I like the shiny new gear the older I get. Maybe that's part of getting older. I don't know. I mean, look, I like my gear. I like my megapixels, all that stuff. I realized this last week. I've been going to this, hopefully I'm going to be in there more. I'm super friendly with them now, but there's this music studio in downtown LA, and they've been inviting me in to shoot some live performances that they've had there. When they have audiences, it's like a little venue. And I've been in there a couple times now. The first time I went with the S12, and I thought, well, I'll dust off the old 75 1.5 Voigtlander. It's an M mount lens, and I'll take this down there and I'll shoot some of these artists. I really, really liked the photos I got that first session, and so then I went back a couple days later. They invited me again. They had an even bigger artist in there. They had a pretty big name artist in there, and I was photographing her. And I thought, let's be a little quicker. Let's have autofocus. Brought my 85 art lens from Sigma. My favorite lens. I talk about that lens all the time. I love that lens. I was struggling with it. I was struggling. And I was struggling to like be engaged with it. And then I was like, it's like slightly longer. I was just having a hard time composing. Maybe it was my mood that night. I don't know. But I struggled. And then I realized this little M lens manual, just boom, boom, boom. I enjoyed it more. It's not as perfect. The Sigma's far from perfect. That's why I like it. I mean, it's got this almost like swirly bokeh thing going on. It does have chromatic aberration, blah, blah, blah. This thing is definitely not perfect. It's like, gets kind of cat eye bokeh in the corners, and it vignettes quite a bit. And I love all that stuff about it. I love it. I like up old lenses. That's actually an expensive lens. It's not even a up old lens. It's a high quality lens, but it's not perfect. So I guess this guy commenting, oh, how's the chromatic aberration in the corners and the edge to edge and this and that, it kind of triggered me. And I probably overreacted, and it probably shouldn't have triggered me. And that's my own character flaws. Who cares? That's what these rants are about. I'm not here to be perfect. I'm just telling you, these things bother me. And the truth is, I shot a ton of photos with this at the festival last week and at Archival, this little local place. I shot a bunch there and used it there. And I did zoom in on them. And I did look at to make sure I nailed sharpness, because this is a manual focus lens and it's so wide, even with, a high resolution viewfinder, like in this camera, it's still difficult to tell if you are super sharp, if you're wide open. And, it's really fun to shoot this thing wide open, and you can close focus like this far away, which is super cool. You can make really cool images with this. But I just didn't look. To see if it had fringing or purple or chromatic aberration or how the vignetting was. I just didn't look at any of that stuff. I was just like, oh, I think the pictures are dope. That's all I care about. Are the pictures dope? Do they have a vibe? I'm all about the vibe. Perfection is boring. So then this guy commented about it, and I was like, oh, I didn't even look at that. Does that make me a crappy photographer? I don't think so. I don't care about that stuff. I like my old broken 35mm 1.2 Voigtlander lens. It wobbles around, and I love that lens. It's far from perfect. It really vignettes. It has chromatic aberration for sure. If you're shooting into a source, yes. I don't care about that stuff. That's just me. I just want to tell you, in the next month, as you're barraged with all this commerciality, on YouTube for sure, on TV, in ads, on the radio. It's just coming at you everywhere you go into a store, everywhere. You're not less of an artist. You're not less of a person because you don't have the shiny new thing. The shiny new thing doesn't matter. What matters is what you do have right now in the moment. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Use what you have. That's my rant. That's my rant. So all these people that care about specs and the latest and the greatest, and it's fun to talk about that. And there's an entire huge industry based around that and based around, promoting the new stuff and the shiny new stuff. And people want to know about it, and it's entertainment. It's entertainment. But is it really important for you as a storyteller? Is it important for you as a photographer, as a filmmaker, as an artist? No. What's important mostly is the story unfolding in front of you and your vision, your skill, your talent, your viewpoint that enters us, that brings us into the story, that captures it, that portrays it, that shows it to everyone else. Your perspective, your point of view, your voice is the most important thing. There, I think we arrived somewhere. Your voice is the most important thing. Your eye, and whatever you have in front of you to tell that story. Use what you have, make what you can. I've made my point. Have a happy holidays, folks. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks for showing up for this crazy Black Friday rant. Staley out.